Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to go over a Cal 2 problem. So this is a question that I'm solving from the midterm exam of Concordia University. Someone requested me to solve this question, so that's why I'm solving it. If you guys want me to solve a particular problem, then let me know in the comment section below and I'll try to solve it. Alright, so we're given, in this question, we're asked to find the graph of the given function over the given constraint on the interval -1 to 4, and then use it to calculate the integral. So I'm gonna focus on this video over the graphing and setting up the integral, not the solving of the integral. Alright, so first we are given this equation over here, so which is y equals to -1 minus x squared -1. So if you guys have noticed, this is a semicircle equation. So if we had like a negative over here at the front and then something like this, since it's a negative, so then it would open downwards, but here we have a positive over here, no negative sign, so that means it's a semicircle. It's the upper part of the semicircle. All right, so now we know that it's the upper part of the semicircle. Just have to be able to graph it, you have to know the format of the semicircle, I mean the equation. So the equation of the semicircle is written as y equals to r squared minus x squared. Okay, and where r squared is the radius of the circle, and then here there's nothing over here and nothing over here. That means the center is at 0, 0. So here we have nothing over here, so the center is at -0, but since we have this over here -1, that means the graph is gonna shift downwards from the -1. This is the k value, and the k value is always for the vertical shift. Since it's negative, so it's gonna move 1 unit down. If it was positive, then it would move 1 unit upwards. Okay, so here, what is the r square over here? Okay, let me just keep it. Okay, so what's the r square over here? The radius is simply 1 over here. Okay, so the radius of the circle is 1, and the origin, like I said, it's 0 and then -1. Since you know that it's a vertical shift, so it's gonna cut on the y intercept. The center, it's at -1. So that's it, what you guys need to know. So let's graph it. So from this is like the axis, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say here, and this is -1, and this is -1. Okay, so then for the radius, for the center, we know that it's 0. So here it's the 0 and then -1. Like I said, the shift, the downward shift, right? So if you want, I can use another color. So here. So this is the center, and then you know that the radius is 1. So to draw the semicircle, you're just going to move it 1 here. Okay, so this is 1, and you're gonna place a dot over here, and then you're gonna move upwards, right? This is 1 unit, and then you're gonna complete your semicircle over here. So you have just completed your semicircle. This is the center. You're not gonna care about it. It's not gonna be included in the points, because here you guys see the interval that they want us from -1 to 0. So this is what we have done. So -1 to 0, and this is the semicircle. And if we were asked to draw the fourth circle, like if we had positive negative over here, so then it means that it's a fourth circle. Okay, in that case, we would do like, you would extend it to 1, okay, then you would put a dot over here, and then you would extend this 1 over here as well, and then you are going to complete the circle, and this is how it's gonna look like. Okay, but here we're only focusing on the semicircle over here, and here we're not drawing this part because we need to stay in the interval given, which is -1 to 0. So from -1 to 0, it's only this function. After 0, we have something else, so we're not gonna draw this other part. Alright, so I hope that's clear. So let's move on. Okay, So what's next? So we're done with this function. So we have an absolute value function over here, which is x minus 1. If it's not visible, then let me zoom in. X minus 1, absolute value on -1. Okay, and for the absolute value function, this function, okay, let me use another color. Color I should use pink. Okay, so here for this function, you can write it as y equals to x minus 1 -1, right? And here you need to know the absolute value function is in the form of a V. Okay, so it always forms a V shape. So it's gonna form like a V shape over here, and you simply need to know the vertex. So the vertex is like a center, like we had a center for the semicircle. So here we had a vertex over here. Okay, so here the equation is gonna be like x minus h plus k, and this is the center of the equation. Okay, so this is -h, which means this is already a negative over here. So what is the value of the h then? So since it's negative, right, this value is negative, and there's already negative over here, so the h value, it's gonna be positive over here. I hope you guys get it. If you don't, then let me explain again. If h value is 1, right, and in the equation it says x minus h, then you're going to put x minus 1, right? So that's why it's x minus 1 over here, and so the h value is 1. All right, so we have the h value over here, and what's the k value? The k value, since it's positive k, so it's simply -1. Okay, so we have our center over here, and the x, so the center has to be in the form of h and k. So here we have the center as the vertex, I mean as 1, -1. Okay, so where is the 1, -1? So here 1, and so it's supposed to be -1, right? 1, -1. So this is the vertex of the absolute value function. Now let's see in what interval we're drawing it from. So we're drawing it from greater than 0, not equals to 0. So that means the 0 is not included. Okay, and now we need to know the V shape. Where is it gonna cut the axis, or right? So to be able to draw it correctly, so for that we need to know where it's cutting on the x-axis, right? So x-axis means when the y is equals to 0. Okay, so we need to find the x value when the y equals to 0. So we're going to take the equation, the absolute value equation. Okay, so we have x minus 1 -1 equals to 0. We're going to set the y equals to 0, because this equation was y equals to something, right? Like I wrote over here, so we're going to make that y equals to 0. If you put it at the right or left, it doesn't matter, right? So I'm just putting it at the right. Okay, and now we're going to solve for the axis. So then moving the 1 over there, this is gonna left us with 1. And now, since it's absolute value over here, you cannot simply cancel it out. For this, you need to make you have two options for the absolute value, one negative and one positive. Okay, always remember that. So you have one positive option and one negative option. So your positive option is going to be x minus 1 is equal to, and you're going to this what is at the right hand side, it's always going to be equal to 1. Okay, and then here you have another option in which you're going to make the other side of the absolute value equals to -1. Okay, not the one which belongs to the absolute value, the other side. You're going to make it negative, and here it's going to still be positive, and then you will have two x values over here. Okay, so now we're solving this, and then this is going to move to the other side. That would be +1, right? So then you're going to have 2 over here, and here you're going to move the 1 over here, right? So that would be +1, and then +1, -1 cancels out, so you're just left with 0. So you have two axes over here, x equals 0 and x equals to 2. So x equals to 0 over here, and then x equals to 2 over here. And you have x equals to 0, but you're not going to include it in the, it is included in this semicircle, but not in the absolute value function, since here it says greater than 0, not equal to 0. Okay, so it's not included in the b function. Alright, so let's draw this then. So we are simply going to draw this like so. Okay, and where do we stop this? So we're going to stop it at 4, because the interval is starting from -1 and it's up to 4. So it's starting from -1 and goes up to 4. So we don't need it after 4. So we can remove the part after 4. Okay, so we're only going up to 4. Right? Only up to 4. So then this is our graph. Now let's set up the integral. Okay, so now setting up the interval, this is going to give us, so we are calculating from -1 to 4, which is the interval of this function, right? And you guys see this is like broken into pieces, so that means we need to solve the interval into pieces, because this is piecewise function. Okay, so from -1 to 0, you guys see this is this interval, this function. So this function is this one. So you're going to set your interval as -1 to 0, starting from -1 to 0. It belongs to this function. So you're going to write this function over here, 1 minus x squared, -1, and then plus, and after you have this function. So from 0 to 4, so from 0 to 4, you have this function over here. Okay, so you have absolute value of x minus 1 minus 1, and then dx, yeah, not forgetting the dx. And then you're going to solve this interval, and it's gonna leave you with 2 minus 1 minus 1 minus pi over 4, and then this is gonna give you pi over 4, the answer. Alright, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys like this video. Bye.